Okay. Listen, I want to do a little quick conversation before we get off. Okay. Um, I'm gonna give just a little definition of what some of these advanced analytics stats are. So like EPA is expected points added. And it's like WAR in baseball, wins above replacement, except it's like how many points did this action cost or give us every play? And like it matters in the given the situation as well in EPA. Okay. So that's like the advanced analytics like favorite tool to use. So the Seahawks rank number one in rushing EPA, and they're so far ahead of number two that the gap between one and two is almost the same between 2 and 18. So just to give you context, like this is an elite run defense from McDonald, but this is also an elite passing unit from the Rams as we preview this game. And the Rams, Sean McVay tends to be a little bit pass happy in his game planning and not game planning when he's calling the plays, and that actually kind of works in their favor because the last time that these teams played, the Seattle won 38-37 in overtime. Darnold did throw two picks, but Matt Stafford had like 470 yards passing with a couple TDs. So in terms of this game, I think it's going to come down to Darnold turning the ball over like it did in the first couple games. The first game in this is a NFC West rematch. So this is the third edition. In this first game, the Rams won 21-19, and they did it because Darnold threw four picks. And so last week they just said, "Hey Darnold, just be a game manager, please. Like that's all we need." And he was a damn good game manager. He had 12 completions, he had a touchdown, he had 124 yards, he had no turnovers, and they beat the team by 35. Now the Rams are a different test than the 49ers, but I just think this game is going to be, can Stafford get hot for the Rams? It's going to rely on, in the weather's 42 degrees, like partly cloudy, so it's not going to be like the cold game that like Stafford's a little bit. He's a dome guy in at heart, so like he's better in a warmer environment. So I think this is a game where it's like, can Stafford be superhuman, and not even superhuman, just efficient, and can Darnold not turn the ball over, because this Seahawks defense is unbelievable, unbelievable.
I just quick comp you can make with this Darnold situation. Look what just happened with Miami on their run. They kind of found the formula with Carson Beck where
Yes.
they needed him to make a few throws a game, and he was able to do that. And they knew that they were going to be able to run the ball effectively, and their defense was going to get stops the entire game. So they didn't need him to be a superhero. They didn't need him to produce at a super high level and put up a bunch of points. The Seahawks have the same exact formula, and I think that the only issue for them is that, like with Carson Beck, there's gonna be a time where you're gonna have to rely on Darnold to take you on a game-winning drive, and maybe he'll be able to do it in one of these rounds. Like maybe he'll be able to do it in this game, like Carson Beck did against Ole Miss. But when it's really that do or die moment, say the Seahawks beat the Rams and are in the Super Bowl, if Sam Darnold is, I mean, it could happen in either game, but if Sam Darnold's in a position where you need him to go on a drive and make all the right plays, all the right throws, all the right decisions, do you really trust him to be able to do that? And I think at some point, and I think it's going to be in this game against the Rams, he's going to be in that position. And despite how good he's been the last couple of years, despite him being able to be effective in the playoffs so far, I think you're going to see him in a situation where he ultimately is going to come up short in a game winning drive. And the Seahawks, who are on paper the best team left, and based off their performance against the 49ers, the best team left in the playoffs, I think they're going to be in a position where the moment overcomes Sam Darnold, and he falters, and maybe not a turnover, but well, probably a turnover, some type of play where you really question the decision he made and it ends up costing the team the game. I think that's the in the future for the Seahawks. And I mean, they could prove me wrong. Sam Darnold could be a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but it's hard for me to envision that and wrap my head around that. So I think that's their ultimate outcome, whether it's this round or next round.
I agree completely, Duska. I think also Charbonnet being out is huge
Hmm.
in a bad way. Give me the Rams. I feel like they're just inevitable right now. They haven't played their best ball and yet found ways to win in Carolina and then in Chicago. I think they get round three in Seattle.
Uh, I'm going to be taking the Seahawks here. I just think that I don't know. The Rams have really not impressed me much. I know last it was a good win versus the Bears, but I think the Seahawks. I like Mike McDonald a lot, and I like his defense.
Yeah. I'm aligned with you. I love Stafford and I love the Rams and I love Puka and Devontae Adams. Um, so it's gonna be a game where I'm picking the Seahawks because their defense is so awesome and I think they might be a team of destiny with the Mike McDonald run. But I'm sneaky cheering for the Rams, but I think the Seahawks are gonna win this game. Um, next game is Jarrett Stidham. The spread is only 4.5, guys. This is not like the game is not over. Like we've seen, Duska, you are a Philadelphia Eagles fans. You of all people know what backup quarterbacks can do.
I mean, do we have to? Are we really going to do this? Do you want me to
No,
make this comp?
what? No, no, no. I don't want you to
No.
make this
Okay.
comp. No,
I'm
no, no.
saying. Okay. I was gonna
No,
say.
I was just
Yeah.
saying like we've seen. I'm not saying like Nick Foles and Jared Stidham are the same guy. I'm just saying
Okay.
magic has can happen, and like we said with like the Darnold stuff. Like, what if? I mean, the Broncos defense is a top three defense in the league. Like, what if they just play really well, and Stidham has like 220, 2 TDs, no picks. Like sometimes punting is not the worst thing in football. Punts are good in the playoffs sometimes. You'll take
Especially in
punts.
the NFL with the field goals.
You'll take punts. You can't take sacks, bad turnovers. You'll take punts. So like I'm not saying I'm picking the Patriots and like the Denver Broncos have a tall task at hand, but we're talking about like is Sean Payton a Hall of Fame head coach? Like probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you got a Hall of Fame head coach.
Anytime you won a Super Bowl.
Dre, you've got a good defense. Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga, Bonito. Sam will remember that. Anyway, that was a Penguins hockey reference, but you've got guys out there. This game is not over, and you can run. Their running game's not amazing. It's not great actually. Harvey doesn't even have like 600 yards on the year, so it's not like they're going to be leaning on the. But even though they haven't run the ball great up to this point, maybe today changes. I'm just trying to put that out there because I think the Patriots might be a team of destiny in the.
I would like to interject.
Please do. I'm rambling.
I will take Sean Payton and Jared Stidham in the snow. I just checked the forecast is not going to be an issue. Colorado's getting most of this storm on Friday and Saturday, which
Okay.
kind of sucks. I was hoping for a little snowball. But regardless, give me Sean Payton to work his wizard magic one final time and for Drake May to not rise to the occasion in the elevation and give me the Broncos to escape the AFC Championship and give us Jared Stidham in the Super Bowl.
Sorry, I was just doing
Uh,
that to Jared Stidham in the Super Bowl. That would suck.
I am going to be. Well, I think Jarrett Stidham is going to play as good, if not better, than Bo Nix in this offense. It's a very quarterback friendly offense. And I hate a lot of things in the NFL, none more than my hatred for the douchebag that is Sean Payton. I am taking the Patriots. They are going to stomp them. But like I noted, Jarrett Stidham will play a good game.
I like that prediction, Arch. Yeah, I mean, I got the Pats here. This Drake May thing, Duska, we've talked about like you were just saying at the beginning of the pod, like a guy elevating into that next level, and like if we got a couple Drake May drives where he just like puts his team on back, makes the right decisions, efficient, couple touchdowns, maybe a couple big runs for the first, like that does a lot into propelling him into that space.
All of my inherent Patriot bias that you just have built up inside of you as just being from Philly and having natural rivalries with Boston in not as much in football, but the Patriots did beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl in 2005. So you have an inherent bias against them, and there's just a natural rivalry. And everyone hated the Patriots when Tom Brady was on the team. So everyone that's not a Patriots fan, I feel like they all feel the same way about the franchise, and the fact that they have another QB that is potentially being considered as one of the best QBs in the league so soon after Tom Brady left the team and after he won them 6 Super Bowls is, I mean, that's the most pronounced. Everyone feels the same way about the Pats, but I can't help but enjoy Drake May, and he's just a great guy, and
Guy's married.
yeah, he's the same age as us,
Yeah.
and I mean, look what he's doing in the NFL, and I think if there were a guy to be able to that has the right quarterback mentality and way to foster culture within the team and lead a team in the way that not exactly like Tom Brady, he's one of one and the greatest of all time, but a guy in that light and a guy similar to Tom Brady, I think that he's a great representative and a great option for somebody that's going to be able to do that. So I think that you can't help but at least me personally, I can't help but root for Drake May. So, and you also just want one of these young QBs to step into that spotlight. Like you thought Joe Burrow when he was in the Super Bowl, like you were like, wow, this is the guy. Like this is going to be the best QB in the NFL for the future and from here on out. So you're looking for a guy in that new class of QBs to step into that role. And I think if it were to be one of the QBs we've seen in the last few years, I think it would be Drake May. So I'm rooting in favor of that.
I'd like to be with humility, Arch. I'd like to say in the argument we got in college, Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen, like you were right. And and I would just like to admit that because we were in the midst of the Joe Burrow run and the Joe Burrow electricity, and I got caught up in that electricity. And my sincere apologies for the screaming match we got in. Joe Burrow.
No, it was as much as on you, it was on me. So I would like to apologize as well.
It's not over.
Also, it's not over, and
It's
also
not
like,
over.
and the
Joe
thing
Burrow
is,
could
like,
easily win a Super Bowl before Josh Allen.
No doubt.
and that's what that's the point. It's like both organizations are going like
I think Burrow's better.
downhill. You also have Hurts as your quarterback. You can't talk QB talk, buddy.
Okay,
Dude,
I wish we had a big supporter base so we can throw out a poll about Matt Stafford and Matt Ryan so we could see how delusional you are in thinking that
Dude,
Matt Ryan is better.
This argument was literally like 4 years ago. It can't talk like you can't use this. Oh, look what happened in these 4 years. It was in that moment of time. You can't say,
well,
no, you actively think he's better.
Buddy, I think he's better, and because I don't get held down by him beating the 2025 Panthers in the wild card round. Matt Ryan used to whoop the Panthers for a living.
All right, dude. He's gonna have the MVP, so he's gonna match Matt Ryan with the MVP.
It's gonna be so funny when Matt Ryan doesn't get in the Hall of Fame and Matt Stafford does.
Well, that's fine because I don't even care about the Hall of Fame as a player now. He's getting in as a president of football operations.
Yeah,
that's what we're gunning for now.
The Hall of Shame.
Anyway, dude. I mean,
after the Falcons collapse over the next 3 to 5 years.
You can't even get into an argument because you're gonna say he doesn't have a Super Bowl. That
matters as much as you don't want it to. It matters.
I can't. I just can't even. I can't.
Okay, dude.
He didn't fully win the damn Super Bowl.
Arch, hear me out. Matt Ryan is in the tier. So there's like the tier of this generation. It's like, so the top tier is obviously Brady, Manning, Breeze. Okay, like the Brady, Manning, Breeze, Rodgers. Like that's the top tier. Okay, the second tier and the third tier is where we're getting in this argument. And I think that, and I don't really think this is homerism. I think this would be I think people would agree with me. I think that second tier is like your Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Stafford, okay? And then that third tier is like Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan,
Jalen Hurts,
Eli Manning. Okay, relax, dude. Why do you make it all about you? Like, stop being so selfish. And so like that's like the 3 tier, and I think Eli's gonna get in because he had 2 of the most historic wins against the best player in his generation, and I think P. Riv and Matt Ryan might miss out. Am I have that kind of right? Do I?
I think that Matt Ryan is more tier 2 than tier 3, but I think that the gap between him and Stafford is not as big as the gap between him and Phillip Rivers. he crushes Phillip Rivers in Hall of Fame debate.
Dude, if either of them get in the Hall of Fame, it's no longer the Hall of Fame. It's the Hall of very good.
I agree that yes.
Neither
them
of them
will.
should make it.
They won't
Eli
get it.
should. Eli
Eli
should because
should.
Super Bowls matter. Arch.
He should because of a receiver catching on his helmet, bro. Like this is what I'm
Okay.
talking about.
What did he
didn't
do?
make
What
that
did he
receiver.
do after that snap?
Also, that was a crazy
He escaped
throw.
this. Oh, it should have been sack.
And then the Mario
Okay, well,
Manningham, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
was
mean,
electric.
Dude, moments, as like it or not, Arch, moments like that matter, and
Yeah.
Matt Ryan has
well,
zero.
Matt Ryan
moments
had
like
his
that.
moment, and our defense sold. His moment was rolling out, throwing to Julio on the sideline. Julio made one of the greatest catches
true.
ever, and we were supposed to kick the field goal, and we would have went up 10. But we had Kyle Shanahan running fucking drop back passes on 2nd and 10 when you're in field goal range to win the Super Bowl.
The goal of this conversation was to get you to talk about Super Bowl 51.
Yeah, and dude, I'm literally never forgetting it, so I don't.
Ingrained in the mind. Okay, also.
And then they lost to Nick Foles the next year.
Wait, Dustin, can we do the Josh Allen, Joe Burrow?
Yeah, we lost the Super Bowl. We lost the eventual Super Bowl champ. How disgusting of a team. That was a good loss for them.
They were a Julio Jones slip away from winning that game.
Yeah.
Yep, and we would have crushed the rest of the NFC.
You guys would have lost to the Vikings.
The Case Keenum-led Vikings. We would have whooped them too.
After the miracle in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
All right.
What a year.
Can we do a little bit Joe Burrow, Josh Allen thing real quick?
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bounce if you guys are doing that.
Yeah.
I gotta get up super early. Peace, guys.
It's all nonsense.
Peace out,
Yeah.
son. Yeah, I got to go soon as well. We can do this quickly, though.
All I was saying was Josh Allen, that was like, dude, 5 turnovers is tough. 5 turn like in
that was like the worst game I've seen him play.
Like, bro, when your team needs you the most. Like that was like a tough watch as like, Josh Allen's the only like him and Stafford are like the 2 great quarterbacks left in the playoffs, and like that was his moment. And like as much as like, dude, Sean McDermott can't control your best player doing that in that moment.
I think if any game that you were going to fire McDermott after, it was in any playoff loss he's ever had, it was literally the only one it was not, like it would not be valid was this one, in my opinion. In 13 seconds left, you're up, whatever, 3, firing worthy. You gave up a field goal and firing worthy with your defense. This one, you lost by 3 to the number 1 seed in the AFC in their home stadium off of a game-winning field goal that had a few crazy calls in overtime, and your quarterback, you lost the turnover battle 5-1. I don't understand how that's coaching, and it's just laughable to me. But I mean, like, I think that the Bills need to go get back Dable because Allen I know he won the MVP last year under Joe Brady. He played his best ball, in my opinion, with Dable, development-wise. And you haven't seen that since. So, yeah.
I think he's been pretty consistent, though, with Joe Brady.
Yeah.
I think he's been consistently the best QB, at least in the regular season, production-wise.
Yeah. I also think it's hard to judge right now about what it is because the fact that it's hard to judge Allen on because like their vertical threat on the Bills, like his vertical passing has been horrible.
Yeah.
But it's hard to judge his vertical passing when his wide out, like his wide receiver one is like Khalil Shakir, and he's like 5'8".
Him and Brandon Cooks are holding it down, dude. Like holding it down.
Like it's bad.
Here's my quick Joe Burrow argument. I think that he's proven with a competent. I have the personal philosophy that your offensive line is the most important unit on your offense. It doesn't matter if you have an elite receiving core. Mm-hmm. If you get no blocks and you're getting hit all the time and there's always pressure on you, then it's hard to evaluate the quality that you're playing at in that moment. And I think when Joe Burrow has proven when he has a competent enough offensive line that when you are relying on him to produce on offense, I think he's done it at the highest level out of the 2. When in a situation with a competent O-line, I think Josh Allen has always had the benefit of having that in his prime years so far. He has a great tackle duo. Their interior is always solid. Like he doesn't face as much pressure as Joe Burrow does. And when you're asking
run
him
game in the league this year,
100% that too. Like when has Joe Burrow had that? So I think when you're asking Josh Allen to produce at the highest level and take his team over the mountaintop, I think you see him falter in some of those moments. And you've seen, not just this year, you've seen it over the last few years when going up against Pat Mahomes. So I think Burrow, he's taking a lot of heat this year, especially with how the season turned out. But I think he's been in such a rough situation and such a bad organization that they've really failed him, and he hasn't been able to maximize his potential. And you even saw it last year. The team was not that good, and he had 5,000 passing yards and 43 touchdowns. Like that, when you're asking him to produce at a really high level and you give him some form of competence, the defenses have been terrible since the Super Bowl run. But when the offense has like a little tiny fraction of competence, you see the level he's able to produce at. So I think Joe Burrow's potential, and if you put him in the right situation, is limitless. And I think that's why I think he has a better chance in the long run. As long as hopefully he gets out of the Bengals situation, but I think he has a better chance in the long run of winning a Super Bowl because I think he can. First of all, he's proven he can get there, but he can put a team on his back and produce at a higher level, I think, than Josh Allen can. So
Yeah.
hopefully the Eagles trade like 4 first-round picks and scoop him up, and he's an Eagle next year, and then we really see what he can do.
I can't. Yeah, I can't do you. But I think the Arch, when we had this debate, where the debate should have gone, which we didn't know, is like we should have debated which organization would be more incompetent because that's really what the debate's like.
That's a tight
boiled down
race.
to, right? Like,
And I thought it was so obviously the Bengals, I guess, like in like the years after, I thought the Bengals would be more like incompetent with, especially not even just incompetent, but it was like they were going to be incompetent no matter what because of that. They're like the T Higgins, the Chase situation with Burrow. Like,
yeah,
there's too many mouths to feed, and there was only a set supply of money. But then, like, I think they're both like I know that the Bills is a lot lost in the divisional round. They've like the most winningest team in football since like since 2020 or whatever. They're like they're both back to like kind of square one. Like I think they're both like equalish now because the fact that like they're both in pretty comparable like kind of situations now. Like in the Bills have been like better as a team, but it's like you're not like there's not like the big gap that there was like 2 and 3 years ago from these teams, in my opinion, and especially situations for quarterbacks. Like I'd argue that Burrow's situation as a quarterback is better for his production wise with like receivers. Well, I would
Dude,
say
he gets hurt every
simply-
year because he gets banged up every game.
That's true. Well, that's all. Yeah, I meant yeah, weapons wise, but like you said,
Yeah,
weapons mean
sure.
nothing if you're getting smoked.
100%.
both, but you need both to be competent to win Super Bowls.
Yeah, and
You
I
have to
don't
have
think
good.
either of them
You have
are.
to have good enough
Here's a
receivers and good enough.
Quick thought
elite-
exercise. If Joe Burrow was on the Bills and Josh Allen was on the Bengals, who do you think? Do you think Joe Burrow would be able to produce at the level Josh Allen has, or better, or worse?
I'd say probably the same.
Yeah, I just think their
I'd
skill
say a little
sets-
worse this year. I'd say a little worse this year because their offense was so driven. The Bills' offense this year was so driven on, like,
Dude,
I
Joe
think there was a
Burrow
lot
with
of
that run
Josh.
game, though.
To answer that question, Nuska, you have to think about like what guys do certain things, and where
Yeah.
Josh Allen is Superman is when the play breaks down and
Yeah.
his playmaking ability, and Joe Burrow is more of like a structurally sound quarterback. So honestly, I think in the Bills situation, in the Bengals situation this year, like Josh Allen probably would have been a better fit in terms of like just using his legs
Yeah.
and like being Superman, and in turn, and like Burrow's a little bit better at just sitting in a clean pocket. And
It's hard for me to believe
schedule.
Joe Brady wouldn't be able to scheme up some nice stuff for Joe Burrow.
I believe
he-
that
he
Joe
had
Brady
Josh
was his
Allen,
offensive
too, though.
coordinator at LSU
He
in
was.
2019.
Yeah,
They're
100%.
both Joe Brady guys.
So we've seen
Yeah.
it.
I wonder what Joe Brady.
Let's get
how-
Joe Brady on the Bengals,
I-
like,
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, Zach Taylor keeping his job was a little bit weird.
and maybe a good tackle first round pick.
Yeah, but
They had one, Amarius Mims.
Well, it hasn't worked out so far, Arch.
all right, fellas. Thanks for coming on.
It's like Broderick Jones.
No, dude, stop.
Is Broderick Jones good or no? I haven't really. I don't watch
No.
enough of the
He's
Steelers.
dude, he's like
He's getting a 5th-year option.
He's like
right?
low. He's like.
Or is he
low
going
tier-
into his 4th year?
going into his fourth year?
He's going into his
Okay.
4th year, I believe.
He's like a low tier starting caliber like tackle. He's like you don't want.
Am I
him to
crazy?
start.
They should put Darnell Washington at tackle.
I think that's what they're trying to do eventually.
If they put Darnell Washington at tackle,
That's-
I bet he'd be better than Broderick.
And then you can get the sneaky tackle eligible plays where you think Darnell's blocking and then he slips out and catches a pass and rumbles down the field.
Yeah, 'cause he's nasty.
So the Steelers
I mean,
need to hire an innovative play caller that would think to do something like that, and not a
They
defensive
do.
head coach.
Artie Smith.
I think the ship sailed on him.
I don't think he's that bad as a coach. I mean, I don't know,
Who?
like Arthur
Arthur
Smith.
Smith.
Oh yeah, Artie. Hey,
He's
Artie.
fine.
Artie did what he could have for the Steelers this year. Honestly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. People like judge him for the Falcons, but I'm like, buddy, his quarterback was Desmond Ritter, and like I know I was a big stan of Ritter, but like
Yeah, that was a bad
it's
moment for you.
but yeah, well, whatever. So I mean, yeah, I mean, but I
All
don't
right.
know.
Sorry, there's nothing worse than being a Falcons fan.
Peace, fellas.
Well, thanks. Thanks.
Let's leave it
I'm
on a
telling you,
positive note.
We're gonna have the city back up in this year. I'm telling you. And then
I'll
once
go to a game this fall.
well, we got to see. We have a tough schedule this year, so that's not good. We're playing the
Mercedes-Benz
Chiefs.
Stadium. Me and Arch will be there.
Oh, Fatlanta. No, you'll have film, bro. You'll have
No,
film.
I think we have Sundays off.
You might even have practice if you're on the CUSA Tuesday slate.
Yeah, facts.